Alright everyone, in this video we're going to take this image here and we're going to change it up, stylize it a little bit. Well, you might look at this image and say, hey, it looks good as it is, and I would tend to agree. But we're going to add a few special effects to this to give it a much more high-end fashion look to it. And the first thing we're going to do is give this kind of a really blown out highlight effect. It's almost like we've done in a previous tutorial, but a little bit differently. We're using a filter this time. And we're also going to bring this eye over here so we have both eyes in view and not hiding behind the hair like it is here. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually duplicate this layer, just so we're not working on our original background. And the first thing I'm going to do is go under Filter, go to Distort, and we're going to select this first one right here called Diffuse Glow. Well, you're probably asking yourself, why is a glow filter in the Distort menu? I don't quite know myself, so I don't really have an answer for it, but we're going to use it anyway. And immediately when this opens up, you see we're getting a really interesting result right out of the box, pretty much. I mean, I haven't even changed any settings, and this is already giving me a really interesting, dramatic look to it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tweak these settings a little bit. We have three sliders here, which graininess, glow amount, and clear amount. Well, the graininess certainly gives us, a lot of noise depending on how much of what we want in there. I'm just going to leave it on zeros so it's nice and smooth. And the glow amount determines how much of the actual image is revealed and how much it was actually blown out. So in this case, I'm going to leave it at around 5, just so that nose is subtly there. Let's actually do like 4, just so that nose is coming in a little bit better there. Now the clear amount determines how much of what you do see is visible, less visible, doesn't really matter. Let's take it around 15, and we'll hit OK. So there's our effect right there. Well, looks pretty good. Like I said, I want both eyes visible, just as this one is here. So we're going to use this eye here to bring it over here. Now this is something I'd done in the last issue, or actually it was in the special bonus issue of Photoshop User Magazine, and talking about the new clone source. So we go under Window, we go to Clone Source right here, and we get this window right here. Now, what I'm going to do is you can see I can select and store up to 5 different clone sources. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get that first one selected here, and we're going to go into our clone source tool. And what I'm going to do is, since I'm going to be copying the eye here, I want to make sure my brush is really soft, so I'm going to hold down the Shift key and do my left bracket just so I get a completely soft brush there. And let's zoom in here so we can get a better look at what we're doing. So in my clone stamp tool, I'm going to hold down my Option key or the Alt key if you're on a PC, and I'm just going to click dead center of that eye, just like that. Now, if you see over here in the clone source palette or panel, you can see that it has the name of the file that we clone sourced this from. This indicates that you can also sample sources from other images if you'd like. So with that sample, we're going to change a few of the settings right in here. Well, first thing is the show overlay is checked on. Sometimes you may find it checked off, so simply turning it on will give you a transparent overlay of the area you sampled. Basically, the brush is right at the point where you sampled, showing you the rest of the image so you can get a better placement. Well, we want to put this eye over here, so we need to flip it around. So with our width and height measurement set at 100%, I'm going to unlock them. Actually, it was already unlocked. I'm going to take this width angle, and you can see the eyes right there. If I take it and move it over the W, you see we get a scrubby slider. Well, if I click and drag, it moves that setting, but you can also see inside the image it's flipping around the actual preview. And we want to make this about a negative 100%. I'm not going to go at a complete 100 because I don't want the eye to be completely mirrored on itself, looking exactly like the other eye, So now when I go over here, you can see that we've got a nice flipped image, but I need to tweak the settings a little bit more. I can see I need to change the angle of this eye just a little bit. So let's go over here to our angle and push this. You can see that the image is tilting there, so let's try about around 4. Maybe just a little bit more. That looks pretty good there. So now, once that is all set, I'm actually going to tweak the height here a little bit. And the reason why I'm just tweaking these just a little bit is just to give a little bit of variation between these two eyes. Even though they're going to be flipped, they might seemingly be different eyes. I don't want them to be like they're mirror images of each other. So, just by giving these a little offsetting here will give us a little distortion in the eye. So, dragging back over here and lining up on that eye, I'm going to click once, and holding down the mouse and just painting, you can see the guide cursor that's over the original eye, guiding the brushing of the new eye that we're painting in. So I'm just going to paint that area around the eye and bring in those details. Just like that. So there we have that. So you can see we've taken a normal photo. Let me zoom this out. You can see the entire thing. So that is what we started with. And in just quick cloning and one little filter, we were able to give it a much more stylized look to it. And we changed so much with so very little.